The waterways are brimming across eastern Australia, spilling into areas long parched by drought. Transformed by a run of wet seasons, the abundance of water has brought an abundance of life. But in the murky depths lurks an unseen environmental menace. The European carp is also relishing the big wet, and its numbers are set to explode.
The rise of water through the floodplains has provided ideal recruitment areas, breeding areas for the carp, and they're coming. They'll be back with a vengeance. Anglers are used to catching carp, but the numbers are going to increase by up to 4,000% in certain areas. It's incredible amounts.
It's going to be front and centre. There's been a large explosion of carp across the basin. They're evident in a lot of areas, so they're going to be big carp soon, and people are going to be seeing them.
Carp reach sexual maturity at 2 years, so the fish spawned with the breaking of the drought will in spring become prolific parents.
It's quite scary really when you think of the breeding capabilities of carp. One 3 kilo carp, for example, will lay 3 million eggs in a normal year. In a good year, when breeding conditions are right, they'll do another spawning. So you've got this massive numbers of eggs from one fish, this introduced pest, compared to a native fish. Same size fish might produce 70,000 eggs.
Carp can spawn in lower temperatures, so their breeding season begins sooner and ends later than native fish.
With the floods over the last year or two, suddenly there are millions of baby carp. Every creek you look in all along the East Coast is full of little carp. It's going to be a very major issue in the next 2 or 3 years as these carp become sexually mature and begin to dominate the ponds again.
And that exponential curve, if you like, is just increasing carp numbers to a point where 90% of the fish biomass will be carp or is carp now.
The European carp is a stunningly successful foreign invader. In Australia, it is sometimes called the rabbit of the waterways. It originated in Asia, but has spread to become the world's most widely distributed freshwater fish. In many countries, it's widely farmed and forms a crucial food source.
Partly because it's tough. It is very difficult to kill carp. I mean, people joke that if you take a carp out of the water and throw it up on the bank and come back 4 hours later and toss it back in the water, it'll just swim away. I mean, it's almost that tough.
In Australia, European carp really took hold from the 1960s. It's now so widely spread that it thrives in every state and territory except the NT.
Construction costs are just over 30 million, and I think the annual maintenance costs are about 10 million a year.
Powerful forces, human and non-human, physical and biological, are being ranged against this most invasive of fish species. High and dry in a convention centre in Melbourne, scientists, ecologists and related parties are plotting its downfall.
The way the electrodes are designed is essentially it's meant to repel the fish, so as they move into the field it becomes uncomfortable, they turn around, they swim out.
There's a range of technologies being used, from electrified waterways to drugs harmful only to carp, and new types of fish traps. But undoubtedly, biological control, using disease to attack the carp, holds by far the most promise.
The virus causes high mortality in all age groups of carp, and it's common carp and koi carp, which are the only 2 species that are affected by the virus.
Koi's herpes virus emerged in the late 1990s and caused havoc to carp populations in the Northern Hemisphere. It is present in Australia, but securely quarantined in the high-tech Animal Health Laboratory in Geelong, where its potential for Australian carp control is being evaluated.
Once it infects the fish, it seems to get into their many organs, and it probably kills them by interfering with the function of gills, kidney and gut, all of which are important in the osmoregulatory capacity of the fish.
Australian research seems to confirm that the virus is deadly only to European and ornamental or koi carp and no other fish species. But to be released here, the virus will need extensive and stringent testing and public and legislative approval, and that will take some years. In the meantime, morale on the home front has taken a beating of late. Federal and state governments' cutbacks meant that only 100 of the expected 300 delegates attended the conference.
A couple of our key projects, including the koi herpes virus one, will be continuing on at least for the next 5 years. So that's a positive, but yes, unfortunately a lot of the states are now going to be struggling to continue on with some of the wonderful pest fish research that we've started, and yeah, it is a bit sobering.